Southern Fried Sports, episode 2. Y'all, let's get it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is your boy, JD, J Dizzle, JD Wyatt on Facebook, JD Wyatt06 on Twitter. I've got plenty of burning questions that we are going to get to very quickly here. Listen, y'all, I have had a rough week. I'm sorry I made y'all wait a whole week to hear another episode of Southern Fried Sports, but don't fret. Here I am. I'm locked and loaded, bro. Locked and loaded. I've got plenty of good things that we're about to talk about. Listen, y'all, JD, oh man, I've had a bit of a rough week, all right? It's 110 degrees outside. It's 120 in the warehouse I'm working in. Like, man, it's hard to breathe. Y'all remember that song? It's getting harder and harder to breathe. Dude, that's how I feel every day when I go to work. And then not only that, Miss Amy Lawrence of A-Law Radio on Twitter of Infinity Sports Network, she decided to acknowledge my tweet finally of me criticizing her, calling it Twix. Dude, it just rubs me the wrong way, all right? At 5:30, 5:45 in the morning, I'm making a dreaded drive to work, and Amy Lawrence just says Twix. She combines Twitter and X together, calls it Twix. No, it's either Twitter or it's X. Twix is a candy bar, and it's a right or a left side. Just like politics, there's a right or a left. But guess what? Not talking about it here. Nope, we're going to dive into some football talk, ladies and gentlemen. I have to talk Clemson football, South Carolina high school football. I have questions. Like I said, I see a big 0 at the screen, but that's all right. Y'all will be here, and y'all will answer my questions accordingly, if you will. And if not, whatever. I needed to vent anyway. Like I said, had a rough week. But let's dive into, I'll leave the rough week. Maybe I'll work a little bit of that in later. Let's dive into some football talk. How important are assistant coaches? And now, let me say this. South Carolina and Clemson both have new assistant coaches. Sean Elliott coming back as a head coach previously at Georgia State. Been at Carolina before coming back. I'm really anxious to see the knit and the grit that he might bring back to the Gamecocks. But as I said, I was here to talk a little Clemson football. So Clemson fans out there, how are y'all feeling about Garrett Riley now going into year 2 and Cade Klubnik? Do y'all think they'd get it together? I mean, I think so. I think any QB going into a second year with an OC, especially named Riley, which, like I mentioned, Garrett Riley, I would have loved to have had this dude at Carolina. I mean, Carolina fans were clamoring for him the moment that Shane Beamer was hired as the head coach. And then for your rival, Clemson, to go and get him. Paid him. He's there. So I think Garrett Riley and Klubnik do take a step forward this year. What I will say too, though, offensive line, new head coach, Matt Luke, assistant coach. I think the higher you get up into the phases of football, the less effective some of the assistant coaches are, if that makes sense. So like on a little league team, I think that an assistant coach could be the same as a head coach, because you have these young, impressionable children, and you're able to basically be a head coach for that part of the team. Therefore, you have like 3 head coaches. But the farther up you get, these guys have less responsibility for what they're accounted for. Obviously, only the offensive and the defensive coordinators call the plays normally. Now, granted, those assistant coaches might make suggestions, so to speak. But yeah, like Matt Luke and Sean Elliott and those guys, man, I think those are 2 guys, though, that will make a huge impact, because they're like having another head coach on the team. But yeah, like I said, closer to the NFL, though, to me, the assistant coaches are just someone to be a bridge between that department and the head coaching staff. And now, hey, again, y'all subscribe, follow, like, tell me your thoughts. Am I right? Am I wrong? What are your thoughts on the assistant coaches? I mean, to me, like I said, the higher up you get, the less effect they have as far as, because I mean, the higher up you get, all these guys know their fundamentals and everything already anyway. So I think at that point, they're there more to be a bridge and a voice for the, the players, for the head coaching staff. And hey, this guy has an opinion. This guy, you need to listen to what he has to say. But I'm very interested to see what that means for Clemson and Carolina football this year. And so, like I said, I have several other topics. I have a new segment I'm going to reveal here in just a little bit. Y'all are not going to want to miss the name of this segment or the interaction it had. I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to wet my whistle. But don't forget, Southern Fried Sports, episode 2, right now. Get your comments in. Get your thoughts in. And if not, whatever, it's all right. I just needed to vent anyways. But I'm going to see y'all in 30 seconds. And I am back. JD Wyatt, J Dizzle. It's me, the Southern Fried Gentleman. Don't forget, y'all, be kind. All right? Just be nice to one another. And so that's going to lead me into my next segment right here. Be nice. Have y'all watched any Olympics? 0. If you want me to be honest, I've watched 0 of it live. It's at a bad time for me to watch. I've tried. But what I will say is I've caught the headlines coming out of there. And man, oh man. Listen, like I said, I try to leave politics and stuff out of this. I'm not going to dive too far into this one. But I will say that the lady from Italy that had to apparently box I'll say alleged, like I said, I'm not going to get too deep into this, alleged male into forfeit in 46 seconds, saying this is unjust. Hey, man, if there was anybody that I thought was going to stand up to this whole transgender, a male fighting a woman or a male competing in female sports, I most certainly thought that it would be the IOC. I thought they would stand on business, all right? So like I said, I'm Jay Dizzle. I'm the Southern Fried Gentleman, and I'm here to stand on business. All right? We're going to be honest. We're going to be truthful. I'm going to tell you what I think, and you can tell me what you think, man. We'll talk about it. It's all good. Ain't no problem. But speaking of the Olympics, did y'all also see my man from Turkey? Oh, I got his name here. Yusuf. And forgive me if I pronounce it wrong. Words are hard. As y'all can tell, I struggle with words, which is coming up in my next segment reveal on the final segment of the show. But Yusuf Dikech, Dikech, Dikech. How about my man standing there, bang, bang, no ear protection, hand in his pocket, just ready to fire off. And then how about Katie Ledecky? Nobody's even in the screen. She's winning races by like 15 and 17 seconds. Like, that's ridiculous. She is legit. To compete, I can understand that in like a regional competition. But for her to be completely out of the screen of the best in the world, that's dominance at its best level. Simone Biles also dominance at its best level. And then one other one. Oh, yeah. My 57-year-old ping pong player. Oh, my goodness. Ziying Zing. Her dad started training her at 10 years old. And she finally made it to the Olympics at 57. And so give me one moment here. I'm going to look up the gold medal count. Let's see what we've got cooking. China. China's got more gold medals, but they're in third. 11, 7, and 6 for China. 11 golds, 7 silver, and 6 bronze. You've got United States, however, in first place with 37 total, with 9 golds, 15 silvers, and 13 bronze. Sounds about right. We're almost there, but we're always coming up just a little bit short. Speaking of short, what I saw last night was not, and no, this is a family show. It's not what you're thinking. I'm going to take a little break, and then I'm going to reveal my brand new segment called What? You Shall See, coming up in just a moment. I will be right back. And I'm back. Dude, time used to fly by before. Seems like every time I go live, I think I talk for way too long. And then here I am, only at 13 minutes. But that's all right, because I've got plenty to talk about. And like I just teased before, here is my brand new segment, all right? We are going to call it Experts, all right? Not EXPERTS. No. We're going to call it Experts, as in Twitter, as in X. And man, they helped me out tremendously last night as I was walking the dog out for a normal little stroll. And a car drove by. I just so happened to have the dog locked because she likes to chase cars. And lo and behold, I heard something slither in the grass, looked down, got a picture, posted it to X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And everybody there knew exactly what it was. So you all are my experts of the week. All right. So I'm going to start doing a very interactive Twitter segment. It's going to be my most interactive Twitter, tweet, X, whatever you want to call it. That will be what that segment is about. So make sure, again, to go follow, like, subscribe. JD Wyatt 06 on Twitter. Get in on my comments. I've got a Clemson one I'm gonna bring up here soon. I think a Gamecock fan actually got a little confused. Thought she was a Clemson fan for a moment. But as she said, the sun was in her eyes. And then, in my defense, words are hard. And so, speaking of words are hard, back to my experts. Excuse me. So, I did post. I'm a bad texter. I'm a bad tweeter. Like I said, words are hard. So, my tweet said, yo, so I just came across this guy walking my dog. Can anyone identify? Feel free to zoom in. And I posted a picture of the snake here. And I got hundreds of comments, or no, hundreds of, interactions. Several comments. Everybody said it was a copperhead. But I did have a very funny comment from a guy, Jeff, and then also Bourbons at Tiffany, Gamecock fans. They both said, hey, why would you let the snake walk your dog? Touche, salesman. Touche. Y'all took my words. You used them against me. That was good fun. I loved it. I'm all for good humor, which is why I'm the Southern Fried Gentleman. We're just here to have a good time, right? But that was funny to me. Both of them were like, yeah, why'd you let the snake walk your dog? And I'm like, you got me on that one. I should have worded that better. I should word a lot of things better. But that's all we can do from here on Southern Fried Sports is improve and get better and go forward. And so let me see here. Checks notes. What else do we have? I did want to talk some more Clemson football, actually. Clemson fans. Listen, I've got a little cousin down there, preferred walk-on. Played. I don't root for anyone to be unsuccessful. Period. End of discussion. I just don't. I don't root for anyone to be unsuccessful. Now, I might root for you to lose on a particular day. But I hope you have the game of your life while doing it, all right? Right? Can't everybody just have the best day ever? And at the end of the day, it's just great competition versus great competition. No hate. No hard feelings. No disrespect. But Clemson, man. How y'all feel about Georgia? Are y'all going to get disrespected? Speaking of disrespectful, I think y'all's defense will keep you in the game. As I said, I'm really high on Klubnik and Garrett Riley going into year 2. I'm really concerned about your wide receiver room, Clemson. I really am. Your wide receiver room isn't what it was when there was T. Higgins, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Williams, Shipley. What's my other dude that played for the Raiders? Oh, his name's escaping me now. Renfro. Hunter Renfro. How could you forget Hunter Renfro? So Clemson fans, I mean, y'all got a new offensive line coach, like I mentioned. How much does that matter towards the entire offense when you might be lacking at wide receiver? Or am I just wrong? Are you not lacking at wide receiver? Like, are y'all good there? You tell me. I wanted to get y'all's thoughts. My whole rundown is just about asking questions. And so, yeah, I asked Clemson fans, if y'all lose to Georgia week 1, how worried are you going to be App State week 2 if y'all come out a little bit slow at home? I mean, I'm not saying they're going to come and beat you because I'm an opinionist. I'm just out here spewing thoughts and maybe a couple of facts. Like that many facts. And then, excuse me, let me give a shout out though. I've got a few comments coming in. Brian, thank you so much for being here. Those guides, hey, you keep them coming. I am going to read them all. And yeah, I agree, dude. Kate Klubnik, I think he can take a big step. What really worries me for y'all, though, is the DJU rematch. Yikes. Can you imagine DJU being on his not first, but second transfer school to your rival in the ACC and then beating y'all? Man, that could be a wild, wild story coming out of Clemson in the coming weeks once football season gets started. And which we're right there, ladies and gentlemen, we are 9 minutes away from football. Football kicking off. Yeah, it's not meaningful football, but it's football nonetheless. It is football de la American, as I like to say. And so, yeah, hey, y'all give me one moment. Let me wet my whistle one more time. I'm going to come in. We're going to sum everything up that we've talked about. I'm going to get a few comments in from listeners. And, hey, I appreciate y'all being here. But we will be right back. And we are back. Southern Fried Sports, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to reshare this video with all of my Clemson fans and everything. Listen, I want to know what y'all think. I think I had a few good questions there. I really think that Clemson has lacked in the playmaker room, whether it be wide receiver, tight end, running back, over the last few years. I think they've had good quarterbacks. I just think they've lacked that overall dynamic. And don't get me wrong, listen, hey, I'll sit here and criticize Carolina Gamecock fans and Carolina Gamecock football as well. Don't get me wrong, I did a Carolina episode first. I just wanted to mention some Clemson football this one. I've got Clemson followers. I've got Gamecock followers. So listen, don't get me twisted. I'm not sitting here throwing hate on the Clemson football team. Not once, not ever. Dabo is a very respectable man. High graduation rate. Speaking of graduation rate, Georgia, wow, 40%, 41%. And then here's a kicker. I'll be doggone. They finally kicked somebody off the team. I mean, people have died. They've had 20 plus traffic accidents or tickets, not accidents, excuse me. They've had 20 plus traffic tickets. And then finally, somebody finally got kicked off the team. Wow, man. Hold yourself to a higher standard, all right? Treat other people the way you want to be treated. Be kind. Be blessed. Not stressed. And no, I'm not signing off just yet. I have a couple other tidbits I wanted to get to. I do believe the Olympics. As I said, I've watched zero. But I will say I did catch a beach volleyball match the other day. That was intense. The rowing was intense. I've tried to catch the basketball games. For whatever reason, there was a picture that came out of Steph Curry, LeBron, Kevin Durant, and Anthony Davis all talking to a referee. Because apparently they all know the rules of basketball better than the referee. Respect the referee, all right? If he makes the call, make the call. And then, yeah, we can go back and review it or whatever. But there ain't no need for 4 of the greatest American basketball athletes to go team up on this one FIBA ref, all right? All right, y'all give the man a break. Y'all give me a break. I had a rough week. My car battery was dead. Somebody said they couldn't work on my car because of my hood. I'm like, bro, this car has been worked on like 8 times with this hood. It ain't never been an issue. But finally, I got hooked up with a new battery. And then I walked up on the copperhead. As I said, hey, thank you to my experts. Experts. Thank y'all. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Listen, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to need more interaction next time. But I think I said enough to stoke your thoughts. So y'all chime in. Hey, I'm going to clip some of this and I'm going to send it out. It's Southern Fried Sports. It's your Southern Fried Gentleman with Trip and Paxton and my beautiful wife. And we're just here doing big things. Thank you to Shane. Thank you to Mark. Thank you to, let's see, Brian, Twinkie. Hey, all my Twitter followers. Y'all are my experts, all right? Y'all be blessed. Be kind, dang it. Be kind. And I'm going to come at you very soon, 2 days from now, with another episode. And who knows who we going to talk about? What we going to talk about? Y'all better come at me hot with them comments, because I'm going to see y'all soon. Much love. I'm out.